the good life. Why do we think that African people are the most religious people on earth? Even though they are not the originator of this religion. Why are African people the most religious people on earth? This have been bugging me since long time ago, but I think it is high time I speak about it so that I will let this burden off me. Africans have been the most religious people on earth, and religion is based on hope. Religion is based on hope. I think maybe Africans are the most religious people on earth because we tend to want to look for a savior. We tend to want to look for a particular savior that can come and take us from the particular situation where we are now in Africa. Because as you can see, we see that the media show us that most of everything that we're using today is not from Africa. But that is another one. That is another topic for another day. And even though they show us that most of the things that we use, that the whole world uses, is not from Africa, but most of the materials used to get those things are from Africa, though. So why are African people the most religious people on earth? They are the most religious people on earth because Africans they need a savior. Africans, we need a savior because what is happening and what have been happening to us, it is not a 1 hour argument. It is more than that. So why are African people the most religious people on earth? African people are the most religious people on earth because most of what they believe, most of what they represent have been taken away from them, have been ripped off of them. So what was given to them was only religion. That is why Africans are the most religious people on earth. People who have come to tell me this, even my friends, my Italian friends, they have told me that we are very religious, but why are we like that? Why are we over there still wanting the aid of other people outside Africa? May I let them to know that it's because of government aren't standing up for the people. Government are working for another group of people and working for only themselves. Why do you think that African people are the most religious people? Let me know down in the comments so that I can share light on it later. Okay, African people are the most religious people on earth because most of our cultures have been deemed as evil. Everything you can ever imagine about Africans, what me I represent, what my brothers you see outside there and my sisters represent, are all deemed as evil. That is not the right thing to do by outsiders. Just outsiders make us believe that, make our parents and our grandparents to believe there in Africa that most of our things that we are doing is evil. And even during my school, my teacher told me and my classmates that that religion was brought to Africa because they saw that Africans are living in the wrong way, that the way that they are living is so evil, that there is many massacre. But me, I don't think. At first, I accepted. Then when I pay attention, I really found out what is colonialism. Colonialism, as we know, religion is brought to African people during colonialism, and I think even before colonialism, because Africans didn't emerge only during colonialism. They were even more events and more progress that Africa have done before the colonialists reach Africa. So they brought religion to Africa, but what makes us still stick to them even when we all hear that Africans are free, Africans are independent? But I think Africans are not independent again, because when Africans are independent, it means that Africans have gone back to the way they live, the way they think life should be all about in their own side. Yeah, in Europe they have their own way that they live, but all their way here in Europe they took everything to Africa, that this is the right way. This is the right way. Because Africans, we were conquered. Me, my parents, we were conquered. So they gave Europeans, the colonialists gave everything that they believe to Africans. And that is what Africans have been doing to today. So I don't believe that Africans are independent. No, they are not independent. Because even though some of us in Africa there, when we try to practice our own culture, our own religion, it's not religion, because religion to me is mind control. Even for the Europeans, religion control people, and here in Europe, you can see that people understand what is happening, that religion is all about trick and control. Because it all deals with fears. It deals with fears. And that is what they used to capture African people mind today, to not even make Africans react when their government are doing bad things. You will hear that Africans, this thing is happening to them. They are not having light in their apartments, in their houses. They are not having running water. It's because Africans believe that some saviors are coming for them, Jesus Christ or something. I don't know what is the image or the person that they are expecting. Because Africa, we really believe in religion over there in Africa. We are waiting for one particular savior to come. But thank goodness, many people are waking up to see that it is all bullshit and it is all fairy tale stories. Just like Superman. Just like Superman saving people. That is it. Spider-Man, all those superheroes. Everything to me, when I gain more consciousness and I became awoke, I found out that everything is all like cartoon. Everything is just like cartoon. You can just imagine that. Okay, if you want to know why are African people religious? Why are Africans the most religious people on earth? Is because we don't have any other person to turn up to, because everything has been scattered, everything has been destroyed in Africa. You can't even imagine. Even our own film, our own movie industry in Africa, they do propagate that. During the film, they will show that pastor or a person wearing white garment or anything that look like the colonialist person or a colonial man that conquered Africa and gave them Bible in their hand. They always make us to see in our movies that pastors always conquer the native daughters. And me, native daughter, I don't have anything against native daughter. Native daughters, as I am talking to you guys now, I have a mark in my belly that native daughter actually helped me. When I was young, I was having convulsions, so native daughter are responsible for making me to stay alive today. Native daughter means native, that is the men or the women that work with plants. They work with plants. They will mix the plant together to make it as medicine for person. That is what is called native doctor. But in African movies, they propagate those people as evil people. They show them that these people are killing people. These people are making people to go through trauma. Then later on in the film, they will put pastor with Bible on the spotlight, that these pastors or these pastors or these pastors are healing people with Bible. They are praying, and when they pray, the sickness will heal. Can you just imagine that? Yeah, even here in Europe, where the whole thing was brought, I haven't heard that a president or a governor of this my country where I am now, this place that I am now in Italy, that the governor went to Pope for the Pope to heal him or her with the Bible or with the pendants, that Catholic Church pendants. No, that is all fairy tales. If you want to be healed, you have to go to a doctor or a nurse or a native doctor in Africa that have the knowledge, of plants around us. And I think that is what we should all know, but everything is kept out of the public. Those plant healing things, I think it is what all of us should all know, but everything is taken away from us so that we can pay to get what nature give us for us to use to heal ourselves. Because everything, all the old leaf, all this grass, all this leaf and these flowers that you see in my back, they are all useful for a particular thing, but we don't know everything. The whole knowledge about these things are taken away from us. That is how religion is affecting African people around the world. African people today, we are the most religious people on planet Earth, even more than the people that brought the religion to us. We can see in Africa there are many children, many kids out there that they do show people on television here, even though most of them are still propaganda to show that African people are just poor. All of them are poor, but not all African people are poor. Some Africans are living the good life over there in Africa also. The children, since the old years that I lived in Africa, I didn't see one of the children that they have showed me in the television, on the TV, about how the children are there over there in Africa. That their bone, their skin are dried, flies all over their face, mosquito in their mouth, flies entering into their mouth, and them not wearing clothes, walking butt naked, everybody like that. That is what religion do. Religion is all about control. So it brings poverty again. Everybody are living in poverty, as you can ever imagine. Everybody are being held to sleep, because with religion you can make people believe that people are coming to come and take you out of this situation. So just stay there. Just continue giving your power to these things that is coming, to this man that is coming to come and save you. Africans today, they are the most religious people on planet Earth, because most of the place that you meet more African people are in the church or in the mosque. That is where they have planned everything for Africans, that the place that we should meet, that we should all come together is church. And if you are not part of the church, if you are not in the church or in the mosque, you will just be like a lost sheep roaming up and down. But that is a planned game. That is a planned game that they have already planned for us before the colonialists release Africans, before they physically free us. Because physically freedom is when you are free, when you can walk up and down, when you can roam up and down. But when your mind is still captured with that control, it is hard. It is hard, you know. Me, when I came here in Italy, in Europe, I was still there. I wanted to go to the Nigerian church, but I couldn't go because of some private reasons. So I went to Catholic church because I know that I was brought up with this thing, and I am waiting for a particular savior, and I believe in the old Jesus story, Mary, my darling, and the old Joseph, everything, all the old story of going to heaven. I must go to heaven or I will face hell. Did you just notice about that? That is part of the control, because when they put two things, the hell and the heaven, that you must do the religion, if not you are going to hell. That is it. That is what I'm trying to say. Religion is a control tool. Why is African people poor again? Apart from we making the place, the religious house as our most gathering place where we mostly meet, it is another plan again that it's either you come to the church because that is where you will meet the opposite sex as you. You must come to church. If not, it will be hard for you to meet that woman. It will be hard for you to meet that man that you want to have beside you. And I've already seen that. That is what I'm going through over here in Italy. Around the street, you won't meet my kind of people like that over here. Though we are minor, we are the minority over here, because this is not where majority of African people stay. So in the street, I don't see most of my African people. Most time, where the place that you will meet African people most are either in the church or in the mosque. Here in Italy, you will meet them only in the church. That is what I'm having problem about. We should come out. We should come together in public like other people. It's not only in the church that we should meet. Let us learn to meet ourselves outside in gathering. We can discuss what we want to discuss. So to this point, if you are following me to this point, you know that everything is all a plantings. You will see that African people are poor around the world. It's because of religion. Religion is holding us back. Religion is holding us back. Even the most populous country in Africa, which is Nigeria, we don't have stable current. Can you imagine that? We don't have stable current. And you will notice in the smaller countries in Africa that they don't have the 1/3 of the wealth that Nigeria have. Those people, they having stable current light. Can you just imagine that? That is another part again, because it might not be because of religion, because the people that have money, them too, they are religious. The most wealthy person again in Africa is from Nigeria. Can you just imagine that? But we are not having current. I think about the light situation and the poverty situation. It's not only about religion again. It's a planned work that the powers that may be are using to control Africa, that Africans should remain down so that they will depend on them. Because once you depend on a person, you will abandon your own work, you will abandon your own growth. So let us start depending on ourselves. Let us lose hold on those people that have a hold on us in one way or the other. Why are African people the most religious people on earth? African people are the most religious people on earth because African people, as you all know, we are spiritual beings. We are spiritual people that we believe in the spiritual world, that this world that we're seeing around us is the illusion world. This world that we're seeing around us now is about the material. It's about the thing that we can gain. It's about the thing that we can have. It's about the thing that we can say that this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. Go and take yours. So this world is about this present world that we're living now is about the material world. Why are African the most religious people on earth? African people are the most religious people on earth because Africans, we believe and we tend to support what we think will bring peace to the planet Earth. What we believe that will bring love to this world. What we think that will bring peace around the whole globe. That is why African people are the most religious people on earth. Another thing again, why are African people being religious? Even though when they have left the religious belief, African people, they may pretend that they are religious because when most of their former people that they believe in the religion before think that religion is the only way for them to be able to control us. We Africans, our leaders be able to control us, in that whenever they notice that you are not going to church or you are not going to the mosque, they will try to punish. They will try to punish you. They will try to make everything in your path more hard. They will try to put like chain around your leg, but not physically. They will try to dodge and make your way more hard. What you want to achieve be more hard for you to achieve. That is why African people are more religious on earth. African people are the most religious people on earth again, is because our parents have been brought up with these things, with these doctrines and religion, both Muslim and Christian religion, because our parents have been brought up with that, and our parents are the ones responsible, not the Europeans again or the Arabs, not them. Our parents are responsible in making us remain in religion today. Our parents are so in love with religion, even to the point that even when you are free from it, your parents will let you and try to convince you that you are not doing the right thing. Please, my darling, please, my love, please, go to church, go to church, go to church. You need to pray, you need to pray. When they want us to become doctors and pilots and nurse and those good profession that you can ever imagine. They believe that it's God that will make it possible for us. So we must go to church. If not, that thing we won't get it. But as you all know, without we reading, without we putting our head on the book, we aren't getting to that position. We aren't getting any position outside there in our country, be it in Africa or outside Africa. If you are European, you know that without you focusing on your project, you can't do it. It's not a spiritual being. It's not God. It's not that fairy tale story man up there in the skies with white beards that they said is the one giving us everything. No. African people are the most religious people on earth today, because we think that our food that we eat is coming from God. So if you are not going to church, if you are not religious, you won't have food to eat. You wouldn't see an apartment to stay, and that is all lies. That is just to keep the man and the woman in church and a mosque today. That is it. That is just to keep us tied. Our hands, our arms, and our feet tied to religion, dogma belief. That we know that everybody know that it is wrong. It is wrong for us. It is wrong for our brain. It affects our brain badly, so negatively, as you can ever imagine. The good life.